Hey everyone, people always ask me to show them how I install these mods, so I figured with the new patch 8.2 I'd show you. First we're going to start with some of the easier ones and then move to the hard ones, XVM being the hardest. First we're going to do Jimbo's crosshair. It is personally my favorite, go-to, and the one I always use and get. So I'm just going to go ahead and extract it to this folder here. I'm using WinRAR, you can find that anywhere. And as you see, it decompresses really quickly. I just access it, and I can then copy in what I need to. So we'll switch over here to the World of Tanks folder, which generally is under C, Games, and then World of Tanks. And then from there, you go to your Res Mods, and then the new 8.2 folder. And then once you go in there, you can follow the same path that most mods will actually place things in. So for this one, it's just going to come right to GUI, and then it should be Res or Flash, and then so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the whole folder right into here, and then there we go. That gets over the entire mod for Jimbo's. And then there's a little bit of customization here. I can get the travel time, which I like for my artillery shells in there. For that, all I do is grab that file, copy that one, and put it right with the rest of them in the GUI Flash folder. So yes, I will want to replace it because I'm replacing the default with the full shell travel time. So I'll go ahead and replace that, and there we go. Now Jimbo's is successfully installed. I can go ahead and use that mod, and I'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that now that I've finished with that one. And I'll move on to the camera mod. This one allows me to zoom out. So I'm going to go ahead and extract that, and then there we go, that folder appears. Gonna go ahead and enter that, and this is of course in my download folder where I download these mods to, which you can grab from Curse or you can grab from online or on the forums. Each sometimes have their own. So I'm gonna ignore the Curse mod folder because I don't run that, but GUI and then avatar input handle. So I'm gonna copy that folder or file, and I'm gonna go into the GUI folder of the World of Tanks mod folder. So I'm gonna back it up to the 8.2 folder, and then right into the GUI above the Flash one that you just pasted, but in the GUI folder that you pasted. So there we go. I put that in there, and I'm gonna come back, gonna go back to camera mod, go down to scripts, and then client, avatar input handler, camera sync. Okay, so that's just verifying. I'm gonna back up right there to where I see the GUI again, and that means that it's actually going in 8.2 folder in the same folder level as GUI. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it right in the same folder here. And then there we go. Now I should have my camera mod good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and back out of there and delete that folder as well. So now we move into the icons that I have on the sides, dressing it up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and extract that one as well. Go ahead and extract that, and there we go. Now again, this is in the downloads folder. I'm switching back and forth. This bottom folder is the actual C Games World Tanks folder, Res Mods, and then 8.2 because we're working with 8.2. Now that will change with each patch. So next will be 8.3, 8.4, so on and so forth until they decide to do a different structure. But until then, it's going to be 0. Whatever, or if they decide to add on to that, so on and so forth. So this one's Res Mod, which I'm already in, and then 8.2 should be the next level, and then GUI. I already have a GUI here, and I'm already in it. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up, and this has Flash and also has maps. Well, I do have the Flash one already copied in here, so I'm going to go ahead and go into that one, and then I'm going to go into the Flash part for the World of Tanks folder, and I'm going to copy in all this stuff from the icon mod that I'm using, which is PoGs clear front side rear damage and view range icon mod. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there, and there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and back up one to GUI, same with the icon folder itself, and I'm just going to copy in maps and GUI color directly. So I'm going to go ahead and paste those in too. So I'm trying to show you instead of just Control-C, Control-V, which I typically do. So there we go. Paste those in there, and there we go. Maps and GUI colors is now in. So now I've completely installed the icon mod here, PoGs Icon mod, so I can go ahead and delete that. And that leaves me with the hardest one, XVM. Now, there's arguments for and against XVM as kind of an interesting program to have to use. So here's how you install it. We're going to extract to XVM here. I'm going to go ahead and go into it. Res mods. Clan icons I will copy over to the top level folder. So I'm going to go back here to the Games World of Tanks folder, click on the Res mods portion or back, either or, and you can see I already have clan mods installed from before, or clan icons. So I'm going to go ahead, paste on top of it, yes, I want to replace, and then yes, I want to replace everything in there, and then it should come up with this. Yes, I do want to copy and replace everything in existence. That'll update all the clan icons I already have. The reason I have that in there is because I have XVM installed previously. Now that puts a little clan icon, if clans are identified, onto their little, what was the thing I just installed? The icons. That's what it will do. So it's kind of useful, kind of not. It's personal preference. So over here, back to the XVM folder, I'm going to go into 8.2, and into GUI, and into Flash. And I'll do the same here for World of Tanks. 8.2, GUI, Flash, and then I'll have to copy everything in from there as well. So I'll go ahead and copy all that in. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and replace that stuff. And then there we go. XVM should be installed for the Res mods portion. Now I'm going to go ahead and back up to the main World of Tanks folder. So I'm in the same structure right here. You're going to see Res mods. So Res mods is here in the structure. Flash, GUI, 8.2 Res mods, then World of Tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and back up to GUI, to 8.2, to Res mods, and then up, no, my back, well, if it was Windows XP, I could hit the up button, or back if I didn't, click around, but I clicked around so much. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the root World of Tanks folder, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in the XVM doc folder. I already have that in here. It contains some stuff, but that's going to contain everything I need to continue. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and replace everything. Go ahead and replace everything. There we go. So this will be a new folder for you guys, XVM doc. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. I'm going to go into samples. I'm going to go into full config en and copy over the XVM config file. So I need to copy that. I need to go back up to the World of Tanks root, come into the Res mods 8.2, and then paste it into here, because that will allow it to figure out the configuration for XVM. And if I look at my 8.1, ooh, where did it go in there? Oh, it goes in the Flash folder. Okay. So ignore what I just said. Take that config file and put it in the GUI Flash folder, and that's where the XVM config goes. And because I installed a special mod, or not special mod, special, what do you want to call it? Can't think of the name. A special icon mod, I'm actually having to open it up in Notepad. Now make sure you uncheck always use this file to open this kind of file, or always use this program, because you don't want to do it all the time. You just want to do it specifically for this one event. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and to swap it over, you look right here to mirrored vehicle icons, and I'm going to set that to false. And by doing that, I'm actually correcting it so it reflips everything back over so it syncs properly. That's specific to certain icon mods, but not all of them. You'll know when you get in there and you see things flip back around if you're using XVM that you need to change that. So go ahead and save it. And this, of course, by setting it to false, it disables the icon mirroring, which is for alternative icon packs. Now it is true by default. So the default vanilla World of Tanks without an icon mod has everything set up differently than if you were to use an icon mod. That's when you'll need to set that value to false. So go ahead and close that now that I've saved it, and there we go. Now, something that I didn't see in here, it could just be me. Let me see. No, I don't see it, but I do. Interesting, yes. So, something that I had to do was I had to get the proxy server for XVM. I'm not sure if you need it anymore. I'd actually have to double check, but I always launch via this proxy server as it contacts XVM. So that might be something that is included differently, And I'll actually open XVM in a different window and bring it in here real quick. Drag this over here. And here you go. Here's the actual website for XVM itself, and that's code.google.com/p/watt-tac-xvm. And then from there you can download XVM. So XVM stats is actually probably what you would need to get. Let me open that real quick, that way I know it's in XVM stats. Let's go ahead and just check it out. That way, worst comes to worst, I can let you know. Okay, yes, you'll need to download XVM stats, and you'll definitely need to take in XVM stat.exe and XVM stat.exe.config. You'll copy those, and you'll put those right into the home folder of World of Tanks, the root World of Tanks folder, and you can see I have them right there. And then from there, you just right-click the exe folder. Well, they had it differently. Let me go ahead and go up to my downloads folder, and then XVM stats. And then I will copy these into here, and then yes, there we go. There's XVM stats. You can copy the application, not the XML folder, but the application, and you go ahead and send that to desktop, creating a shortcut. And then by doing that, that'll be what you click to open World of Tanks instead of opening up the patch front database thing that you typically use if you were to launch a vanilla version. You can run this until they update World of Tanks. And then you'll have to run that vanilla update or the desktop updater on its own so that it updates World of Tanks, and you'll have to go through this process again. So based on that, I'm probably not going to need these two anymore. I'll probably be using these. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this little demonstration here I wanted to give you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in my next Let's Play. So if there's any questions on how to do this, hopefully this answered it. I will try to respond to any questions, but it is rough to manage it all with the course of how everything constantly changes. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do the XVM stats and other general mods. Thank you guys, and I will catch you later.